changing and customizing AYMultiCharacter outfits. So I'm going to be using this character. She looks cute. So we're going to use that for this video. So now we have this option called the outfits panel, and we have so many things you can change. With version 2, you can now turn off, let's say you don't want any headwear, you can turn it off here. So by turning it off here, when you randomize, they don't show up in your randomization. So anything you turn off using these checkboxes, they won't show up in your randomization. So, but if you don't want them just for a particular character, you can just turn it off for that character. But if you don't want it at all, just turn it off. So that's it for outfits. So we have glasses, earrings, wristwear, top, pants, skirts. So the only thing you can turn off is top and pants, and that's because if they are turned off, that means the character will be naked. It's as easy as just coming here and turning them off by yourself if you don't want that. So but for other things, you can turn them off, even the footwear. If you want your character to be barefooted, you can always do that. So now the new things that we added to outfit is, before we only have patterns, but now the outfit layout has been rearranged. Now we have style, we have surface properties. So for this character, she's putting on a dress. So let's go to dress. Then the dress, if you look at it, it's shiny, and that's because it's using the surface property PVC. So by default, most of the outfit is on matte. But if you don't want matte, you can always give it, let's say, metal. I like the metallic look, or you can say satin. So to have that satin feel. So now you can have two colors. We've talked about this. So if you want two colors for your characters, you can do that. Then you can add pattern. What this add pattern does is that if you have two colors for your characters outfit, for instance, let me do this for this outfit. Vertex paint, change this to attributes, and then we'll go to decal. Then assign black to this. So now we have two colors, so this color and this color. So if I turn on the pattern, you see the two colors. Let's change it to matte so you can see clearly. So this first color, let's make it red. Then this second color. So if you have pattern assigned to this outfit, the second part, if you want the pattern in the second part too, you just say add pattern. So pattern will also be added to your second color. So that's what this add pattern is for. Then you can add fabric. The fabric option is robust. You can get different type of material with this fabric option. Let's move to circles so it's faster. So you see, without the fabric, this is what we have. With the fabric, see, it's looking richer. The outfit is looking richer already with the fabric. So for instance, let me go back to pattern for a moment. What we have right now is check and floral. So the first one says striped and dotted. So from 1 to 10, we have options for striped patterns. Then from 11 to 20, we have options for dotted patterns. So it works the same with zigzag and geometry. So from 10 to 20, we have geometry. See, we have stars. When you go to 19, we have another type of geometry. In between is going to mix, just like what we had in version 1. Then if you want your zigzag, you go to the beginning. See this beautiful pattern and the characters' outfits. Very, very nice. So that's how they work. Then this legacy, if you want the patterns from version 1, they are all in legacy 1 to 20. So this was what we had in version 1, just 20 patterns. But now we have over 100 patterns with version 2. Cool, right? So this one has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 120, 140, 160, then plus the legendary one, 180. So we have like over 100 textures with version 2. Unlike version 1, we only have 20 patterns. That's why it's kind of slow for Eevee to handle the shaders, because there are a lot of shaders it has to process when it's compiling. So that's why version 2 is a little bit slow, but depends on your system. If your system is very fast, it's going to work fast. So but with this we have more options. So with this you can do animal prints, animal and print. So 1 to 10 will give you animal prints, animal texture. Then 11 to 20 will give you prints, just normal floral prints. So this is like a cow. If you make it black and white, it's going to give it a cow pattern. So then you can change the variation. Even though it's giving you this, you can still change how it looks with variation. For each one. Let me go to striped, for instance. See at variation 0, see how it looks. Then at variation 10, it looks different. So for each one, for instance, let me go to zigzag. See how it looks. If I take it to variation 0, it looks different. At variation 10, it looks different. So even with each texture, each pattern, you can still get different texture from each one. So it's very robust. You can get unlimited patterns from this. So the rotation, you can rotate it. So let's say I want 90 degrees. You can do that. Then the scale, you want more scale. And if you want less, yeah, this is also nice. This is a nice print. So you can blend it with the original color. That's this color. You can mix them the way the color interacts with each other. That's the color of the patterns. So you can blend how they interact. So by doing this, these two colors, it's only the green that is really showing. But if you do this, you have more colors. So now you have like 4 colors: the red, the gray, the green, the light green, and the deep green. So with the blend, you can also get different variation. So for now, let me change it to something different and increase the variation. See, it looks different. You're having this check kind of effect with this blend, but when you move it this way, it looks like another check pattern. So 2 colors, when you use 2 colors, it's going to give you this effect, but when you deactivate it, it's just going to use 1 color only. So that's it for dress pattern. Then for pattern, then for the fabric, like I said, we have different types of fabrics. We have linear, knit. So if you want it to have that knit, like it's knitted, you can have it. You have 2 types of knit, this type and the other type. So it's like it's knitted. Then we have something called snap pattern. If you deactivate it, the pattern will just sit on top of the fabric. But when you activate snap pattern, the pattern will try to pick the color. If you see this is picking up the color and it's following the shape of the fabric. But if I turn it off, it's just straight on it. Then for that, we can deactivate. Then there's something you have like dots on top of your clothes. You can turn it off, so it removes it. Then you can also add scale to the dot. Then for glitter, you can add glitter to your outfits. You can increase the scale. You can scale it up for glitter. So you can use bump. The fabric doesn't have the pattern doesn't have bump anymore. The bump was moved to fabric. So then if you have some kind of material that has transparency, you can use alpha. For instance, this outfit is going to have like a transparent space in between. For instance, let me go to lace. Lace is the only fabric that depends on the pattern. So if you turn on, even if you turn on your pattern, the lace still depends on the pattern because lace have holes in them. So with that, let me turn this on so you can see the character skin underneath. Like this is the opacity is 0. Then here at 10 the opacity is 0. At 0 the opacity is opaque. So now with this, you can when you activate your lace, you can change the way the lace look with your dress pattern. So that's for, let me turn off the glitter so you can see it clearly. So this depends on the dress pattern. So if I change this to, let's say, check, if I change this to strip, so the lace depends on the pattern. So whatever you have as pattern will influence the lace. So it's, then of course the attachment. For instance, this particular dress has buttons, so you can change the color and you can change the property. So you have this glossy looking button.